Let's go ahead and get started. So I'll start the introduction and I'll introduce you, April. I know that everybody's so excited to hear about what you have to share. I was letting them know that today you're going to be talking about some tips for family engagement that is mostly focused on a regular school day, but then I'll jump in and give some tips for what to do during this time for teachers who are having to engage with families remotely. So I'll have a section just going over that piece, but we'll kind of have you share your part of what to do with Learning Genie for regular engagement. Sound good?
Okay.
Perfect. So today, everybody, we're going to be doing a training on quick, effective engagement, and we have April McMullen here from, she's an early Head Start infant toddler teacher from Tennessee, an agency that I was able to go out and train back in August. It was a blast. They're a really great agency that's just doing such good work, and the teachers are just phenomenal. So she came highly recommended. So let's see, is it letting me? There we go. So our agenda today is I will do this introduction, then then I'll introduce April. She will lead through her part. I will lead through a part on on engagement remotely during this pandemic. And then, and at the end is when we'll do question and answer through the chat. So we aren't going to be doing a whole bunch of question and answers throughout. But we'll have a chance at the very end to do so. So this program, this is the Educator Spotlight. It's become a really popular, awesome program that we're running. It allows us to highlight our super educators like April. It allows us to share best practices. So we've had not only administrators, not only teachers, we've had parents on as well. We're going to have some data people on sharing their best practice. And we just want everybody to have the chance to hear what's going on across the country in lots of different agencies. And we want to kind of bring everybody together. And because sometimes we get kind of caught in our own silos and we end up being stuck kind of in our own mindset, and being able to branch out and hear what's going on in other programs across the country. It can really help to make us feel more connected and also more aware of all these different strategies that people may be doing that's different from what you're doing in your area. So I hope you guys get the chance to kind of chat with each other in the chat section. It's really nice to hear each other's ideas. If you have questions and you want to ask and answer them to each other, that's totally fine. But we aren't going to be acknowledging the chat until later in the training. So I want to introduce April. April came recommended from Laura Campos at South Central Human Resource Agency in Tennessee. April is, as I mentioned, an infant toddler teacher. She was selected to present because she really engages her families in creative ways using Learning Genie. She is a role model in her agency, and her colleagues consistently come up to her for advice on how to use technology, how to connect with families. And she kind of has lots of different backgrounds because she's taught infant toddler all the way to first grade. She's taught in general education and special education. So she kind of has all these different mindsets that she's able to apply to her engagement. So I'm so excited to be able to let her speak today and share some of her strategies because she's done some really cool stuff. So I'll turn it over to you, April. Can you see the screen?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. At least I'm on the laptop now. So thank you all for joining in and having me. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to do this. And I hope, that, you can get something from this. I'm echoing.
And April? Oh, okay. Did you sign out of your other account, April?
I did.
Okay, perfect. I was going to say it was a little echoey, but it sounds like you got it. Okay.
Okay, so with this first slide that we have, we're going to talk about, I just wanted to give you all a visual on how technology has been such a great factor in today's society and in today's world. As you can see that older age people are on the wagon, they're getting there, but we see as millennials and the Gen X kids, well, not kids, but adults, how they're using more of their tablets on their smartphones and use of social media. So technology is definitely the way to go. People check their phones more than they check their children's backpack, and I can attest to that because I have done it. And it's the best way to get the information across. So that was that slide. Miss Heather, is this you?
Yeah, so here, let's go ahead and do a poll. Hopefully everybody's able to see this poll. In the last meeting I did, sometimes people weren't able to see it. But we have a poll which is going to ask you your role at your agency. So you need to select whether you're a teacher, administrator, data person, family service staff. It'll help April in being able to address her presentation to the different types of people who are joining it. So it looks like we have a lot of teachers so far, some administrators as well, who can pass on this great information to their teachers. We have some other roles here as well. It looks like family service staff. We have some people, health and nutrition personnel. That's great. So we're going to end this survey in about 10 seconds. So make sure you put in an answer. We have a little over half of the people who have answered. All right. Perfect. Okay.
All right. Are we ready to go to the next
Perfect. Slide? Yeah. And let me go ahead and share the results so everybody can see.
Awesome.
All right. Let me make sure. And I want to make sure April gets shared as the host. And April, were you able, you're still working on sharing your video. You said it was blocking it. I just want to make sure you have. It looks like you're able to turn your video on now.
I think I'm finally on there.
There, yay, I can see you. Okay, perfect. All right, I'll stop my video and I'll go ahead and move forward.
All right, so that's we're on the second side. The next slide is how can we achieve this? And so I did 3 points that I realized that worked really good for us. Catch the moment, how to add it into your daily routine, use your sources, and also make sure you have effective communication, encouragement, and praise for our families. And we're going to talk about what that means throughout the rest of the slides. All right. Why do we use Learning Genie? That's to help build effective relationship with our families, working with our coworkers, share moments, and keep up with updates. And what I have down here is how have you built that relationship with your families? Sometimes it's kind of hard because we're so focused on the children that we also have to remember that the parents plays a huge part in our relationship. And when we have the parents on the same board and on the same team as we are, it benefits more for that child. The next part is working with your coworkers. Your center should be a place where teamwork is mandatory. And here where I work at here in Mount Pleasant, I'm really thankful to work with the staff because we do, my site manager, she, stress about teamwork, because we need each other. No one is greater than anyone else, so work together. If you and your coworkers are not on the same page, then how are we going to be successful? We can't be successful if we're not on the same page. The next point is share your moments. We all see exciting, fun, and precious moments in our class. Be quick on your feet, grab the tablet, either upload at that moment or send it to draft. And with the app, you can play with it all day long, and we're going to talk about and show examples more on how you can, if you choose to upload it at that moment, or if you choose to wait, save it as a draft, wait and upload it later. The next point is talking about keep up with updates, share updates, events, informations with your family through the app. The more you use the app, the more comfortable the families and the parents are going to be willing to use the app. And this is another poll from Ms. Heather. So I'm turning it back over to you.
Sure, so let's do one more poll here. I'm gonna instead now ask you, was it sharing the results? Okay, here we go. So the next one is just the level of support. So we just wanna hear what kind of support you've received with engaging families. So have you been able to get some support from your administrators? Have you not had much support? Have you not really had much training? We just kind of want to see the level of help you've had with this topic. So we have about 30% of the people who've answered so far, so keep going. So it sounds like most people have had some level of support. We're going to end here in about 10 seconds. All right. And I'll share these results with you guys so you can see. Most people have had some good level of support. Some people have had some support, and some people have not really had that much support, but most people have had at least a little bit of help, which is good. All right, let me go ahead and close that. Next slide.
All right, on to the next slide. How do we start engaging? Find times to send quick engagement, work with your co-teacher. Do you have a daily goal for your center and make it exciting? So the first point I'm going to talk about finding time to send quick engagement. Try to find a time that is most effective for you and your classroom. What I shared and what I know for myself, that every classroom is not the same. What works for one classroom may not work for the other. So that's when you have to come together. And this goes on to the second point, working with your co-teacher. That's the time when you all come together and figure out, hey, let's see what time in the day we get better results from in our classroom, what works for us. So what works for me, it may not work for the next person. And we also show you all examples as we continue to go through the slides. And most importantly, take turns. That's what we're there for. Yeah, I'm still sorry. Take turns. It's not just the one person responsibility. Like I said before, and I'm going to continue to stress this, like teamwork. Use your you and your teachers work together. Find out what if one of them is the one engaging with the kids, and let's say you're cleaning or something, stop for a hot second, grab the iPad, take a picture, save it in draft, and keep it moving. Then you can upload it later. And the next point is talking about daily goal. For our center, we have daily goals here. Our site manager checks every day to make sure that we're meeting that goal. We have to send either 2 pictures or 2 videos or either or every single day. And she go in the afternoon, she go and make sure and check that we are doing that. So figure something out so you can stay on top of it and make sure that you're using the app. So maybe that's something that you all can come up with on your own to do to figure out a daily goal. And and I feel like that works better because you know what's being expected. And so like for me, if I'm being told, hey, you need to get this done by this time, I'm going to make sure it's going to get done by that time. But if you let me linger on and I know I got some grace period in there, I'm going to do it at the last minute. So maybe, figure out what's going to work better for you and your center. And like I said before, making it exciting. Learning Genie is a great app and it's fun. And if they see us exciting and using it, like I said before, they're eventually going to get on board and use it because parents love to see their children throughout the day. Me being a mom, I love when I can get a picture of seeing my baby playing or seeing or getting a video. And so, if that makes you feel good, of course that makes other parents feel good. See what's working. So for us, what's working, we have 4 points: sending out a monthly reminder for in-kind, giving shout outs to the families, getting information out to our families, and figuring out what's worked best for you and build from there. So what we do, send out monthly reminders. We once a week we send out a reminder on the app. In the on the teacher side, you can send out in the messages, you can send out a reminder for in-kind, and it's just a short message that say, hey, please remember to do your in-kind for today. And we do that once a week. And then also we have a monthly reminder that we do, and this is giving shout outs to the family. This is what it comes in. For every month, we pick our top 3 families that has been doing a great job. and we'll give them a shout out on the app. You know, everybody like a little competition every now and then. And so we, you know, put that in there to be like, maybe if we say, hey, this person is doing it, maybe this family will say, hey, I want to hear my child and my name on there. So we're gonna put it in kind too. And getting information out into the families, especially in this time and what we're in and dealing with the COVID-19, that this using the Learning Genie is very helpful. It's a great resource to get out information because we get information all the time, things locally, things that we're doing as an agency. And so we can send that out and keep great communication with one another. So use the app because they really, you know, parents have been telling me ever since, you know, we've been able to not been able to come to the center, that they really appreciate the things that we're doing and how we're keeping them informed, that we're keeping them and letting them know that, hey, we're here with you all. We know that this is a stressful time for everybody, but we don't want you all to forget that we are right here with you all step by step, and we're going to get through it. So the next slide. Okay, so when I talking about earlier, was talking about finding times to put in your schedule, to fit it into your schedule. This is what works for us. And like I said, this may not work for everybody. Where the green line is, that's when we normally try to catch the time to send in, do our pictures or our videos between breakfast and between brushing our teeth. Our kids are not morning kids. And so we know that we can't get no picture the first thing in the morning because that's just gonna be disaster. They got disaster written all over. So after we get some food in their belly, and that's all of us. After you feed me, I'm happy. So after we feed the children, they're in a better place. And we'll take that when they're eating breakfast, or if they're brushing teeth, or when we're singing our song and we're at the table brushing our teeth. We'll do that. We'll take it outside. We don't have good service for Wi-Fi outside, so this is what I was talking about, and we're going to share that also in on another slide about the draft. We'll take the iPad outside. We'll do videos or do pictures outside, save it, and when we come back in during nap time, we'll just upload it on the video on the engagement. And between lunch and before nap is really a good time for us too, because we're winding down. The children, you know, they're a little worn out, and so they are a little bit more patient with us and are more willing to take a picture or get distracted for a hot second. Let's see. Best engagement through the Learning Genie. Okay, this is how our messaging and our chats, how we keep in contact with our family. This is a slide just giving an example of how it looks. On the side, you can have the family name, the children's name. Also, remember to click message. And that's how we send messages, say, hey, today was a good day. Hey, I just wanted to let you know. I know that the child came in this morning a little upset. I just want to let you know that they're having a better day and that they're doing great. So use your messages to contact and keep in contact with your families. The next part is engagement. And this is what we use. And like I said before, this is what our site manager have us to use, because in engagement, in order for her to know that we're doing it, she has to approve it through engagement. So when she go in and say, oh, okay, they done their daily goal, they met their daily goal today, so I can approve it and send it through. And you can see where you can set up a picture. In the right hand corner, we have the camera and the plus sign. With the camera, that's something that you want to do right quick and at that moment. And then we put in a description and upload it. With the plus, it's different other activities that's under the plus button, and we'll show you all that later. And this is a video, an example of what we do with giving praises to our families, and also sending videos to update it.
I'm gonna do a new share real quick just to make sure it's gonna share the sound. Okay, perfect. So
Okay.
here's one example. If it loads, hopefully it'll load.
Hello, everybody. We have an announcement for y'all. We have a food truck giveaway in Columbia this Saturday, March the 14th at Riverside Methodist, and also Friday, April the 3rd at Mary Hills. Go and get you all some food. Have an awesome day.
Awesome. We can show the other one. Whoops.
This is my awesome co-teacher, Miss Claudia.
We are celebrating being Miss April because our class has rocked in-kind this month. Layla had over $2,000. Ariella had over $2,000. Kendallin over 1,000 and Taken over 1,000. We have blown it out of the water. Thank you.
And yes, I know somebody was asking about showing how we do the videos. Maybe that's something that we can do, Miss Heather.
Yeah, so I think what you guys did was you went to the activities and then you just shared it as a video recording through your activities section, right?
And put it up engagement.
Yes, so that's the same here through the activity feature. It's just instead of doing the adding a photo, you just click on the video button and you can add a video. So as long as they're below 20 seconds, like those were cute short messages, super awesome, very powerful because they get to actually see the face and the voice of the teacher. I think that's great. And I loved how you shared not only congratulatory messages for in-kind, that's super encouraging, but also let them know something really informative, like there's going to be food trucks, and you told them where it was and when it was going to be. So you can do lots with those videos, and I think that's so impactful.
Yay! Okay, this next one that I talked about earlier are send reminders. What I have learned that reminders and events are two different things. This is a reminder. Let's say that you have an event to come up. You can set your reminder the day before to remind for it to go out to send. You can choose the date and a time for it to go out to give them a reminder. Hey, we're having. This is just an example. In the comments, donuts with dad, and then we'll send that reminder out the day before or the day of the event to make sure that parents remember that this is what we have going on today or tomorrow. And also you can click if the child needs anything else, but we supply everything. But say if they need some more changing clothes, the weather change, hey, we need some more short, we need short sleeves. You all can come and pick up the winter clothes and take them back home. Now just send an extra extra spring and summer type clothes. And also you can click on there, all children. It's over here to the right, it says all, and you can either you can do individually or you can send it as a big group message. Also, like we done earlier, share resources. You can put on different activities. You can use your books that they have that's on this app. You can use and upload the books under engagement. And also, when you read your books, the books that is also in kind. So I had to throw that out there. Make sure that they know that they can use that because they're reading and they're listening to that video. Okay, this is the event that I was talking about earlier. With the events, you can do a RSVP on with your event. Say you have a Thanksgiving lunch coming up and you need a accurate head count. You can send this at the event name, the description, the date and time and the location there, and they can send yes or no or maybe. And you can also go back and check and see who all said that they'll be able to come when you use an event. So we use this because, like I said, we need an accurate head count on how many parents that we have coming into the center, so we can make sure that we have more than enough already here. And here go the draft mode that I was talking about earlier. You don't always have the time to always send a video or a picture or give out information at that moment. So save it as a draft. And like I said, during nap time, sometimes I know nap times you still have some that's up and don't go to sleep. And so if nap time don't work for you, at the end of the day, when the children go home and you have that 30 minutes or an hour to yourself to get everything together, go back to the app and upload it. All you have to do is type in the description and just click the button on the left, on the right, and it will automatically go in. Okay, and what we use, I have also learned that the activities are different for everyone. For our center, Ms. Campos, she came up with only 5 activities for us. I know for others, it's more than 5, like it's customized. So you can put as many activities you need on it, but for us, we only have 5. And what we created, Ms. Claudia and myself, we created an in-kind cheat sheet, and under each activity, we gave them an example because parents are, we have parents asking, well, I don't know what to put on the lesson plan activity, or I don't know what all we can use as health and safety. And so we just put a few examples for them to use, and we made the copy here. We laminated, put magnets on it, and we sent them home for them to put it on their refrigerator so they can go back and look whenever they need to go and add in their in-kind. And so this is the activity that this is how it looks from the parent standpoint and not just the teacher. I know some of you all may not know how it looks from what the parents see. So they have add activity. And like I said, for our agency, we only have 5. But for others, like I said, it's customized and you can put however many you want on there. So you click the activity, or you can send an engagement, a reminder, and say, hey parents, we're doing today, can you do activity 3? Say that y'all talked about the stop sign and crossing the streets on safety. So the parents will know to go and click that under activity, and they can upload it and have the parent signature. And you can click the box that says keep the signature in there at all times, so they won't have to always go back and sign it. So all they have to do is just hit submit. And then after that, this is what they see, their total activities, the total value that they have brought into the center, and the total hours that they have put in. And this is a track of in-kind of what we've been doing, and what I've learned that I didn't know that we can do that. You can see the activities by family members. You can keep up on who's doing it more. Are the dads doing it more? Are the mothers doing it more? Or other guardians doing it more? And you can keep up with that. And then you can change your different domains. Right now, like I said, it's mostly at home activities because we're sending everything home now since we are at home. And you can keep up with your time. You can keep up with the classes, your how many children that we have, and our entries, how many entries we are putting in, and our value and our total in-kind. And as you see, we are rocking out on this in-kind. Like, I was really nervous because of everybody being at home. And like I said, they're not able to see us all the time. But our parents and families have done an awesome job with keeping up with their in-kind.
And this is only 1 month. I just want to point that out, that this data you can see is March 1st through March 31st, and they pulled in $177,000 in kind. That's just amazing.
Awesome. That's awesome. Let's see.
Okay, so I'll take on this part. So we've been doing a lot of webinars on this topic. We have a webinar series that we launched this week, and it's going to continue through the end of next week. Well, it started last week, and it's going to go through the end of next week. Talking about how to engage families during this quarantine period. So this is a really different time for us, and we're having to be very creative. And some teachers have approached it with a little bit of frustration because they kind of don't feel like they have the tools. So we've been trying to talk with teachers to figure out their best practices and pull together as many resources as we can. And we've been doing 4 different webinars. And I just wanted to summarize 3 main tips for this particular webinar. So the first one here is creating a virtual classroom. So if you are interested in meeting with your kids live like this, like a Zoom meeting where you actually have video, right now, you know, it's more one-way presentation. It's not as much of us all talking together, but you can obviously have a collaborative live classroom environment through Zoom. You can actually, through Zoom, just copy your meeting link and put that meeting link right in here on an event on Learning Genie. And that way you can say, we're going to have story time on Friday at noon, and you can say, join me at the link below. You can put in some pictures, send in that link, and families can RSVP so you know who's coming. And then at the time of the event, they get a reminder that that's happening. They can click on that website link and they'll be brought to the live meeting with you. So it's a really awesome way of having that face-to-face communication. And again, Zoom will let you do this all on your own, but if you don't have emails for all the families, you won't be able to send out those links. So using Learning Genie to send out the link and also create those reminders and all of that makes it really easy to connect everybody. So again, creating that virtual classroom is the first tip. The second one is recording videos. So just like April recorded that video, she recorded it through the activity feature on Learning Genie, so it only allows you to do 20 seconds. However, if you want to do a longer video, like a recording of you reading a story or doing a short lesson that the parents can play over and over again, you can record those messages on YouTube and just take the link for those messages and send them through Learning Genie. Now, it used to be that these messages, when you would send them out, they wouldn't be live links. However, now in the last couple of weeks, we fixed it so that now they're all clickable. As long as you have the latest version of the app, these links are clickable. So you can send the link of this video through the chat button on Learning Genie. The parents can receive it in the chat. They can receive it here in the activities. The administrators, if they want to send out a link using school message, they can do that, and all the parents will get it blasted to them in their email as well as the chat. You can create an event and send out the videos. So those video links can be sent out in any way. But that's nice if you want to pre-record a longer video to send to them. And the last one is if you want to hear some families' opinions and thoughts and feelings during this time, and you kind of need to know what they need and what they're asking for, you can create a Google Forms survey. Now, I don't know how familiar you guys are with Google Forms, but they're really easy to use. You just go with your Google account. Google's free to create. You just create. You can even go into your drive and just right-click and then add a form. You also can go to forms.google.com, and then you'll be able to send out to create a form, which can be multiple choice, or it could be check boxes, or it could be like rate where you are on a scale of 1 to 5. It could just be comment boxes if you just want to hear their thoughts, and they can just type in the comments. There are any number of questions, and then it will actually you would take the link to the survey and you would send it in the chat or in an activity post or in the school message. If you're trying to blast everyone in your agency, it's best to have the administrator blast out that that form link. And then the parents just click on it and then they fill out the form. And then right here, you would be able to see summaries, and it has like graphs and it has pie charts and things like that of what the parents are responding with. And you'll be able to read all their responses. You can make it anonymous or not anonymous. It's up to you if you want to collect their emails. But that makes it really nice to kind of get their feedback and make sure that their voice is being heard at this time. And so you're giving them what they need. So those are my 3 big tips for engaging families at home right now. So we do have a lot of upcoming webinars here regarding at-home learning. So when we send this out to you, when we send the follow-up email, you'll be able to get all these links in here to sign up for all of the webinars in the series. We have 4 to 6 different presentations for each of these webinars. Most of them are being led by me, but also by my colleague Monica. She's doing some of them too. So you can register. The 4 ones that we have right now are the Essential Toolkit, which it kind of does an overview of Zoom quickly, an overview of the YouTube, and an overview of Google Drive, as well as our Learning Genie features. This one, creating a YouTube channel, kind of goes through YouTube overall and how to create playlists and share those with families. Turning families' observation into DRDP evidence for portfolios. So that's if you're using family engagement as well as portfolios. This goes through how parents can submit something, an observation, through the chat, and the teacher can just hold her finger on it and save it as a DRDP portfolio evidence. It'll actually go right into your portfolios as a draft, and then you just tag it with the right measures and save it. So that webinar goes into that piece here. And the fourth one I just did, the first one today, and that's turning families at home learning into in-kind. So it just goes through the whole in-kind process. So if you're interested in that and learning how that works, how April and her agency added $177,000 in 1 month through Learning Genie's in-kind. If you want to learn about that, you can attend our at-home learning, our in-kind webinar, which again, we have like 4 or 5 more presentations on later. So you'll get these links when we email them to you, when we email all these slides, so you'll be able to sign up for those if you haven't yet. So I will turn it back to April for the last section and then I'll close it out.
Yeah, thank you. The next slide is talking about ongoing considerations for family and staff involvements. Like I said before, keep it before them. Like when we were at school, in the morning we would say, hey, how you all doing? I hope everything's going well. Don't forget, since you're going home, you have a few minutes on your hand to put in some in-kind that you all did last night, or in the afternoon when they come to pick up the kids, say, hey, you all have a great, we sent out a great video of the kids dance today. Go check it out. And while you're checking it out, put in some in-kind while you at. Like I said, you've got to keep it before them. And the more you keep it before them, they're like, hey, we already done our in-kind from yesterday. We're getting ready to do in-kind for today. Like I said, if we make it exciting and keep it before them, they will do the work. I promise you, they really will do it. Ask your families what could be done better. And I was sharing with Miss Heather that I really like the home survey for the families, because they can give us advice and information on how they're enjoying the Learning Genie, on what's the pros and what's the cons of the app. So like I said, I really like that idea to be able to get feedback from our families. And as I stated before, figure out what works for your center. Figure out what works well for you all as a whole. Like I said, nobody is, there's no big, how you say it, big eyes, little U's. I hope I'm saying it right. I probably said it wrong. But anywho, know that use it together. That's why I said teamwork make the dream work. So figure out a system that works for your center. And this is just a recap on what we have talked about with the webinar. Implementing into your daily routine. Like I said, even though we're at home now and we're working, from home, still use it. Still create a YouTube channel, a YouTube account. That's what we're using, and we'll do, because the videos on the app is only 20 seconds, like Ms. Heather said. But when you create the YouTube account, use it. Do a video. Sing their favorite song. Do something. Do a lesson on the YouTube account. Send a link, and they'll be able to do it. Also, work with your co-teacher, with your TA, and with your subs. I know I've been asked before, like maybe it's just me and I have a sub. That's what the sub there for, to help you. Show the sub how to do it. Let the sub take care of that task while you take care of the classroom and be with the children. And like I said, most importantly, to build effective communication and trust with the family. And the last point, it takes a team to be successful. And I found this article online, and if you all get a chance, Ms. Heather will send this back out. Check out the article, read the article, and it shows how it's beneficial for young students that we are teaching. All right, this is the question. So I'm ready for some questions.
I feel like a lot of people have already said some great questions that we've been able to answer. And I know that people are just saying you're doing such a good job. Does this training go to the early care workforce registry? That is not something that I'm familiar with. Are you familiar with that at all, April?
I'm not. I was going to ask you what was that about?
That, if someone can send us a little bit more information to my email, maybe at the end, you can let me know. I'm not sure exactly what that is. Let's see here. Oh, this is a good one. How do you balance engagement without bombarding your administrator with approval? So I can take that on really quick. The administrator does not necessarily need to, depending on the settings of your agency, some administrators approve posts before they go out and some don't. It just depends on how you are set up. So I would say most agencies don't approve every single thing that goes out. They usually start in the beginning with approval, and then eventually they let the teachers post on their own after they've received some coaching. So it depends on the way careregistry.org. So we can look that up and figure out what that is. Thank you for sending that, Leonora. I'm gonna write that down care. Oh, CA registry. Oh, so maybe that's the California thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. So we can look it up. Someone wants to know how to add families on chat. Well, as soon as the families have an account on Learning Genie, they are added to the teacher's chat. So you may need to refresh the messages section on Learning Genie. They are automatically added. Yeah, it's California, the CA registry. Okay. Yes, there are going to be, there's going to be a survey that's going to be sent out. This is going to be sent out in 24 hours. So wait for an email. If you don't hear from us within 24 hours, then you can email our help team. But what you are going to get is an email from us that has a recording of this webinar. It has links. It'll have this whole presentation turned into a PDF, which will have all the links, but it's also going to send you links to a survey. You need to complete the survey in order to get the certificate. So make sure that you complete the survey. It's going to ask for your email, it'll ask for your name, and it'll automatically email that survey to you. Let's see here. April, would you mind giving some tips to Maria here? How to get the parents that are really not involved with their kids, as in the parents that are signed in and out of the kids and walk out because they're in a hurry. How do you engage those families that don't seem to be as super interested?
I'm trying to see how I can put this. Talking to them. Hold them hostage for at least 5 seconds, you know. Hey, can I talk to you right quick? Well, I can't talk right now. You know, you could just say, well, this afternoon, can you come in a few minutes early today so me and you can talk and give out some information that we need you all to do and to get on board on that. Because, you know, everybody have that one that it seems like it's always in a hurry. But like I say, the more you keep it in front of them, the more, sooner or later, the light is finally gonna go off. So keep, I hate to say harassing, but to a point, you know, kindly.
Yeah. That's so true. Yeah, and also once they see the capability, sometimes they don't feel like signing up, but if the parents talk to each other and they see the kinds of things you're sharing on there, they'll be like, oh, that's cool and that's easy. All I need to do is just scroll through and I can see my kids' pictures and things. That's really neat.
And that's right, like Ms. Claudia just said, and we also say this, that remind them that our jobs rely on the app. So when we, you know, try to put ourselves in and say, hey, we need you all to, you know, help us in this, because our job is looking at us for this. And also remember that you all are giving back, like we're giving to y'all, you all are giving back to us with your in-kind, because it's not technically a free agency, because that's how we continue to get our pay, is through our in-kind. So remind them that you know, we can't stay open unless you all keep giving us in-kind. And when they hear that, we're like, okay, so I need to put this in so they can stay open, so my child will have somewhere to go.
Yes, great. And yes, someone's asking what in-kind is. That has to do with specifically Head Start funded agencies, they rely on contributions from the families in terms of their effort that they put toward their child's learning, as well as community members. They can also donate things, but the federal government matches the value of those contributions in terms of money. So agencies that are Head Start funded are required to get families and communities involved in order to get funding. So that's what In-Kind is. Learning Genie has an extension to the parent engagement app. It's connected to the family engagement app, but it's a separate module technically, which allows parents to submit activities they've been doing at home. So that's what that In-Kind is. Yes, and thank you for clarifying the workforce registry. Yes, that's for professional educators in California. So I can do a little bit more research and see how we work with that. But yeah, I think we can go ahead and these are some great questions, you guys, and thank you, April, for your great answers. And April, did you want to close out with saying anything else before I just tell them again about this email?
No, thank you all so much. And thank you all, Ms. Heather, for the opportunity to be able to do this. It has been very helpful on my end. You know, like I said, I've been learning a lot of stuff that will be very helpful for, you know, here with us at our center. And I appreciate you all for joining in, you know, despite the technology craziness. Thank you all for working with me and waiting and being patient with me.
Oh, of course. It was so worth it. We just had to wait for like 8 minutes or something, and then you gave us a great presentation. So this is wonderful. Your knowledge on this and your experience and your creativity is so inspiring to everybody, and we just really appreciate you taking the time to help make this presentation for everybody. I think that hearing from the teachers and hearing these really great tips that may seem like small tips, but they're so powerful in terms of enhancing your engagement, so important. Thank you, April, for taking the time to do this. I think everybody really appreciates you. Within 24 hours, because we have to convert this video and everything. So within 24 hours, you'll get an email which will give you a survey to complete for participation certificate. So you have to wait for that email. Please don't email us for it until after 24 hours because our customer success team has been bombarded with a whole bunch of people asking about certificates. So thank you for everybody who participated. I know we had a little over 100 people come at some point. So I know, April, what you have done is so valuable to all those people who attended. And I know that a lot of people are thanking you in your chat. So congratulate yourself, April, and thank you to everybody else for taking the time to enhance your practice during this crazy quarantine time. And we wish you all of the health and safety and wonderful social distancing while still maintaining connections and relationships to the people that matter to us. So good luck out there. Hopefully everything will return back to normal pretty soon, maybe the end of April, hopefully. Stay safe and take care of yourself. And thank you, April.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.